This is a crazy writing chat that you didn't know you needed. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Anna. If you're new here, I write a lot of books and kind of share my experiences, my advice, and my feelings about writing on this channel. Today we're going to be getting into just some little writing spiels and also some pieces of advice that I have that you these pieces of advice kind of are more from the heart of being a writer, not so much like technical things, and it's more so discussing writing as a art. I do have some coffee, if you guys see over here. This is a Starbucks cup. I never get Starbucks. It's not really known in Australia, but there is one store kind of right down the road to my uni. So I decided to get one, and I actually, when I went to Europe on my exchange this year, I adored getting caramel macchiatos, but we didn't have that here in Australia. Literally only Starbucks gets that drink. So make sure you get your drink right now and just chill along with me in today's video. It's really chatty. It's like really nice and cloudy outside, and I can actually wear a jumper. Like, this Australian weather has been so bizarre because it's usually so hot, but it's really cozy today. So I'm like, I need to chat with you guys and do a writing chat with me with coffee. So let's take a sip to, cheers. Oh my gosh, it is so good. This is like the best pick-me-up. I see why people are addicted to coffee. I do want to say that this video, it was kind of inspired. I came across Amina the writer through some of Brielle's writing streams on authortube, and I saw a video where basically she was just having a writing chat, and I was really inspired. I'm like, I want to have a writing chat too. So it's a really chill video, so thank you, Amina. I'll have links in the description. Go check out her WriterTube channel. She's an amazing writer. Let's go ahead and get into the things on my list. I have a list over here, so don't mind if I kind of look over here, and we're gonna do some crazy chats. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is so sweet. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is sort of like an update on my writing and how I've literally come back to my childhood, like writing my heart. I don't know how to describe it as, but basically I've come back to my love for fantasy. I seem to have lost it a little bit in like the last 2 years. I'm not sure why. Well, of course I had projects in the mix, but I wasn't really too passionate about all of them. So I started to write Ghost Side, which is more of a paranormal literary fiction. And it's not like I'm not passionate about Ghost Side or any other of my literary fiction projects. There's just something otherworldly and beautiful about fantasy that I've missed so freaking much. I won't lie, like the reason why I got into writing in the first place was because it was a mode for me to escape. It was a mode of escapism. So the fact that I've said goodbye to fantasy for a couple years, and then gone ahead and actually re-established and kind of reconnected with my childlike self, who loved dragons and loved the Lord of the Rings and loved all these fantastical creatures, stories and everything like that. And I think it's honestly because I revisited and read one of my childhood favorite books, which is Door of a Smoke and Bone. So now I've literally started a new project, which is a huge freaking fantasy project. It is so deep rooted in fantastical elements and also like myths and legends, and it's especially about angels and my obsession with angels and flight. And I just have been adoring creating this world and these characters, and it's also I don't want to spiel too much about it because I've kind of hinted in a lot of my videos and my lives, but to be honest, I'm going to get into actually the next thing of the reason why I don't want to tell you guys. And that's because the second thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there is such, sacredness in writing that keeping it to yourself is something that's so, something I need to learn. I feel like I've somehow, through this channel and through making beautiful writing friends, I adore them, but there is something so sacred about keeping a particular project close to your heart, to the point where you can literally call it your baby, and there's some sort of sacredness in secrecy, if that makes sense. So that's why I've decided to keep this secret fantasy project to myself, although I desperately want to share it with the world. there is something so lovely that I love that I only know about this book, and like I have my little playlists and everything, but I like don't share it in my videos. I don't really share too much about the story anywhere else, despite my whole channel being like a writing channel. But like low-key, this story has my heart, and I love not telling people. I don't know why or what it is about it, but it's a sort of advice, like piece of advice that I've learnt myself, because I think just generally I'm such a huge oversharer in my life. I share about everything, about everyone. I feel like I'm actually like quite gossipy, which I really hate about myself, to be honest. And that's also the way that I express myself to people. And you know, this is what it is. You know, when you kind of just like met someone, or even if it's just your friend, and you say something, and then when you get home, you're like, why the heck did I say this? I hate myself. They probably think I'm stupid. And I don't know, I just hate that part of myself. So I'm really learning patience and really learning self-restraint, in a way that kind of puts my projects and myself in a relationship first, where exposing it, like, yeah, you can get ideas, yeah, you can get support, but having it by yourself is something that's so good and so underrated. I feel like a lot of things are so explored and so shared because of the social media and just like the normalization of like trauma dumping. And I don't know, like obviously stories sometimes have some means of trauma, but with this project, I don't want to tell anyone about this, and that's fine. So I really encourage, maybe if you have a project that you're working on right now, and yeah, you adore it so much, maybe you shouldn't share it, at least all of it, to somebody. So maybe you already do this. Props to you. I wish I could be you, because I share too much about my projects, and I really wish I could just have my babies with me. You know what I mean? And especially at the start, in the conception of your story, it reminds me of like how you've just like a mother, how a mother might feel giving birth to her child. Like you want to spend some time with that thing that you've been thinking about and working towards. So I don't mean to like compare the relationships, but that's kind of how it feels. So that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. Drinky break. Let's have a sip. Nice. The next thing I wanted to talk about is just like the freaking like wholesomeness of authortube. But like, are you kidding me? Everyone is so sweet on authortube, and I have just been really feeling grateful, especially towards the end of the year, of just all the beautiful people on here. And how, I don't know, there's something just so sweet and wholesome about somebody on the internet wanting to share their stories with others. Like, that is so adorable and so cute. I don't know why. It's funny because the duality of a writer is like that, but then of course like we kill our characters and like we're pretty messed up people. But then again, we're so like willing to share and help without any sort of bad blood. I mean, I don't know if there is any authortube drama or anything, but I don't think so, at least not on my channel. And I think it's so sweet that people are just so lovely. And I don't know, the wholesomeness of a writer is just like something I wanted to bring up because we're cute beings, I think. And especially because I have been watching lots of writing lives recently, so I've been making my own as well. But I'm going to have to talk about her because I literally am obsessed with Brielle Writes on authortube. We recently actually did a vlog together where we swapped writing routines with each other, which was really fun. I really loved doing that, and I did learn a lot of things that I'm going to talk about in my next point. But yeah, the writing lives and the wholesomeness of just like these writers coming together and seeing and watching them. And even if you're just a silent watcher, you're still a part of this community. And I think it's just so lovely. So if you need any like motivation to write, go to Brielle Writes channel. She has amazing freaking lives. She somehow always has one going. And I love that because I can just tag along to like the end of one or something. So yeah, I adore that so freaking much. So the thing that I learnt from Brielle's writing routine, this is the fourth thing I wanted to kind of touch on, is the importance of immersing yourself within your writing in a way that it kind of like, I want you to immerse yourself in your story even while you're not writing. And I found this especially when, even if you just watch Brielle's vlogs, but a part of her writing routine was that she very much loves to listen to her book playlists while she's getting ready. And of course, getting ready, like doing your makeup, having a shower, I don't know, like that's not really related to writing at all, but she's still somehow besties with her book. Like that's kind of how I view it, where like you are spending time with your book throughout your life when you simply don't have time, or perhaps are just like getting ready and in the writing mood. I'm in law school right now, so I mean, you probably have a job, or you're probably in school as well, where you don't have a lot of time to write. So I've really learned from Brielle to kind of immerse yourself in your writing, even if it's just thinking and daydreaming about your story. I definitely got into the habit for the last couple years, and even in not really in high school, actually. That's what I actually miss nostalgically about high school, is where I would daydream about my books like all the freaking time throughout class and everything like that. And I don't do that anymore. Like, it literally got to a point where I could only think about my book when I was at my desk writing. I don't know how. I don't know, maybe because I was just so busy and stressed with everything. But like now, I actually daydream about my story, and I actually put on playlists on my drive home, and there is something just about immersing yourself in your writing and your project to like spend time with it without having to write words, or that sort of pressure to write words, where you can go on a stroll on the beach, or in a forest, or go for a picnic, or read a book from the perspective of like, your project, and look into the tone of your story, etc. Like, there is so much you can do apart from just writing to kind of just have fun with your world. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. And also, this is the next thing, and it's kind of about songs and the importance of using songs in your brainstorming and writing process. Brielle shared in her video how I love to do this, and this is kind of like what I do, is where I put my headphones on and literally just like sleep on my bed with my eyes closed and just imagine my scene or my particular project with that song playing in the background. And I was even just doing this on the drive home from uni today, where I put on Fine Line by Harry Styles, and that seems to be like one of the two songs that really define my fantasy project, where I love the repetitiveness of Harry Styles songs, and especially like Fine Line, where it's just like, we'll be a fine line, and what that means for my characters, and it's just like so lovely. But I think it's important to have that particular song as the defining thing in your story, so whenever you need to kind of explain your story, get into the mood of your story, or pinpoint what the core of your book is to find a song that represents it. Of course, you can do this through like a whole playlist and stuff like that, but I really like to pick one or two songs. And for my fantasy project, my secret one, it's Fine Line by Harry Styles, and also Roadkill by C Rose. And Roadkill was actually the book that made up this story. The song that made up this book. And I found that with a lot of my projects for sure. There was another book, Project Prison, that was inspired by Chelsea by Phoebe Bridgers. So I think like listening to these songs and pinpointing and like latching onto them is something so lovely, and kind of like, I don't know if you're that attached to songs and songwriting, but to me, lyrics and like even just brainstorming, what am I trying to say? Basically, songs are really, really freaking important, and you should not overlook them. They're so good in writing, so please use songs. The next thing I want to talk about is also just me low-key complaining, because, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel hypocritical because today's really nice and cloudy and like moody, so like I wanted to chill. It doesn't look really moody in like this setting because my whole room is white, but it's because it's like really white and pale. It's because of the clouds. Anyways, back to complaining. Basically, I want to live in Europe. I said it, guys. I feel like everyone wants to at this point, but I long for autumn. I don't know if you guys know, Australia, where I live, like, we don't have autumn. Like autumn, yeah, does not exist. Like I remember going to the Netherlands for the first time this year and seeing a bare tree for the first time in my life. And I wasn't there for autumn, so I've never actually freaking experienced like I want to see a leaf fall from a tree. I want to see it. I don't see it. I don't see them turn brown. Maybe it's just Australia. I don't know, but I literally miss what I don't have. And then it's autumn. I want autumn so bad. Like Australia, to me, like I'm so lucky to live in this place, and it's very, very beachy. But the thing is this atmosphere, this ambience, the beaches, it would be great for beach romance. But I have it here in my notes how like in Australia, it's like trying to write a dark fantasy with dragons at a sunny beach. Do you see what I mean? Like I freaking want mountains and dense forests. Like I need snow, I need cold weather, I need like a fireplace, I need dead leaves to crunch beneath my feet. Like that's what I need. I don't know if any of you are listening in from Australia, but like I just don't really think I belong here. And it's so like toxic of me to say this, but I literally reckon this is not even with writing. In my whole life, I think I would have a higher, what's it called? Like happiness? My like happiness world, like, you know, the happiness world index, mine would increase if I moved overseas. Australia's just so far away from the world, and also far away from amazing authortubers and people and writers. There are so little writers here. I don't know, maybe it's just where I live particularly. But yeah, it's literally like trying to write a dark, fantastical fantasy, you know, either in a desert or on the beach. Like that's literally Australia. You're either on the beach or in the middle of desert, and it's always hot here. Apart from today. So I don't know, I literally long for storms, and I like have such a dependency because it literally rides on my ability to stay inspired and to write, because writing in 30-degree, 35-degree heat in my room while it's sunny out and everyone's out wanting to go for a walk and go play in the sea, I don't know. It's not the same. It really is not the same. So happy warm Christmas, everybody. That's just Australia. So, but I still get hot coffee, which I know it kind of looks like I don't know, would have iced coffee, but I don't like iced coffee, to be honest. I will get hot even if it's boiling outside, which it usually is. Okay, that's basically all of my spiel that I have noted down. I really encourage you to have like a writing journal or just something somewhere to like talk about your writing thoughts and stuff like that. I do want to say quickly before I go on to the last point, which is pretty, I don't know, mushy, where I have a writing blog. If you guys don't know, I launched that a month ago, basically where I have a November issue coming out soon. So I have done my October issue. The blog article is called The Skeleton of a Writer, which I really loved. So stay tuned for a new blog episode or blog article. I don't know what you're going to call it. Issue. I'll call it a blog issue. That sounds really professional. And then also on my website, I do have writing planners as well. So if you're looking for writing planners, shameless self-plug right there. Check out my planners you can buy online. So yeah. But the last thing I wanted to say, guys, is that I freaking love you guys. I freaking love you. Like, this video was just an excuse for me to either complain about things or like tell you how much I appreciate you. And I have written down just like gratitude. Like, maybe it is because it's the end of the year, but I'm so grateful for this particular channel. I sometimes get in my head about numbers all the time and like why maybe my subscriber count is so big. I don't know why it is so big, to be honest. Like, I don't know. And then my viewership seems to be decreasing or seems to be fluctuating. I really don't know. Or my vlogs don't do so well, and I'm like, are you guys not interested in my life? But I know that I do serve a purpose and that I do inspire people, and I see that through my comments and everything. So thank you all who comment on my videos. Like, if you want to help me or support me in any way, comment on my videos, or of course, purchase my digital writing planners on my ananew.com website. That'll be great. And I also have written down how I feel like a misfit sometimes, and that's one of the reasons why I did start authortube, is because I felt like I was alone, and I didn't have anyone to share with, like, my writing dreams and my love for fiction. Like, my family and my friends around me, I love them, but they don't care about much writing stuff. So I really, like, out of desperation, definitely appreciated, like, my past self for, going and starting this channel and allowing me to have this, base where I can, like, touch base with you guys and kind of talk about my stuff and be really, really comforted and feel comfortable with talking about my stories, and also feel inspired by others who publish their books and stuff like that. So thank you. And how I described my feelings is like this. I said, all writers are misfits, but we are misfitting together. And I think that slays. Like, put that on a t-shirt, please. We're all writers. No, sorry. We're all misfits. We're all misfits, but we're all misfitting together. Slay mama. So, anyways, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. But I had lots of fun chatting with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I finished my coffee now, so I hope you have too. Maybe comment down below your favorite coffee order. I usually have a caramel latte, but if I can, I'll have a caramel macchiato. I miss it. Literally nostalgic from the Netherlands when I was overseas, so I adore that. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week or day or night whenever you're listening or watching this video. But I love you all, and I hope to see you in my next writing video. Bye, everyone.